Good evening, Facebook peeps. I will just sit and wait a moment and see if anybody hops on down here in the basement. Mr. Man's down there, you just can't see him. Right? I'm Melissa. Alright, I see I have a few people on here, so hi everyone, this is Beth with Unearth Your Glow, and tonight in When Death Rocks Your World I'm going to talk about coping with death. So when you have lost your loved one, you're not quite sure how you can cope with all the different feelings that you have. You'll have feelings of sadness, depression, anxiety, just to name a few. And just like with grief, hi Mom, just like with grief, we handle and cope with it differently as well. In most cases, people are able to cope and kind of move on from the loss of their loved one on their own, as long as they've got the right support and create healthy habits for themselves. Fortunately, sometimes we do need assistance from other people, therapists and whatnot. There's nothing wrong with that because, like I said, everybody handles it differently. For myself, I try to go along more of a natural path, and a few of the things that I do, I'll just kind of touch base on and go over those. So for myself, I like to keep busy. I find that when I keep busy, my mind keeps busy and it doesn't kind of sit there in a stagnant kind of place where it allows it to go into dark. I like to call it a dark place. When I get the feelings of sadness and depression, I call that, like I said, I call that the dark place. So I find if I keep myself busy and going, then the mind doesn't have the ability to wander off into the dark place. So that's why I keep as busy as possible. I also surround myself with friends and family. We all need a support group to help us laugh and cry and just kind of get through everyday life. You know, as we grieve and you get those feelings of sadness and depression, you will feel like you want to kind of push everybody away, just kind of to be by yourself and not be with anybody. But it's really important to keep those people with you, and to not push them away because they will help you. I've been blessed to have a very well-rounded group of people, with friends and family. They've been there for me in so many ways that I couldn't even count it on one hand. Couldn't count it on two hands. But they've been there to listen, to help laugh, to cry. Sorry, Mr. Man is being very needy for attention. You can't see him, but he's right here. But anyways, they've been there to help sure I eat. I know shortly after Ben passed, I really didn't give a rat's patootie if I ate anything, and my sister was there forcing me, and my mom, they were there forcing me to eat even though I didn't want to. So it is really important to keep your friends and family close by and to not push them away, because they will help you with the needs that you don't realize that you need any longer, because of the feelings of sadness. So again, it's important to keep your family and friends near, and that has helped me. Another way that has helped me with my grief and coping with it is being outside and in nature. I love being out there. It's very therapeutic for me, and if I could put into words the way it makes me feel, it would probably be something very beautiful, but I can't figure out the right words to make it out. I mean, it's just as if I have this great sense of peace, and it just washes over me, and I feel so connected, and it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's a beautiful feeling. And when I'm out there, it's like everything's washed away. It helps, again, with like the mind. It's cleansing to the soul. Maybe that's a good way to put it. But nature helps me a lot. That's why you'll see me out at High Cliff and at other places, because it does help me. And maybe because close to, like within the 2 years before Ben passed, we started doing a lot more outside together as well. We started hiking, and family vacations, we would make sure we were outside and in the mountains, and so I think maybe I feel that connection there as well, kind of memories I keep holding together. No, Mother. My mother says that I could pull weeds in her yard. No, thank you. I don't even like pulling the weeds in my yard. You've seen them. They grow like up to here, and I say it's good for the bees, so I just let them, so I can help the bee population. That's my excuse for the big weeds. So yes, I do love to be outside, but I do not like weeds. I believe I have a friend who told me she loves to pull weeds, so I may find her. It was Tina. Anyways, back on to the ways that I cope. Exercise. I swear by it now. I know there's the argument out there that exercise helps with your feelings of depression and sadness and anxiety, and I used to kind of laugh at that one. Being an avid exerciser before Ben passed, I never understood and never felt those endorphins, and I never was like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing ever. I was always like, oh, I feel so tired after. But after he passed, I remember there was one night I had to go to martial arts class, and I had to go to my cage fitness class after, and I was like, I don't want to go. I don't feel like it. I just kind of felt down, right? But I made myself go, and at the end of the classes, I had that aha moment that everybody talks about, and I was like, holy crap, this is what everybody is talking about. I actually felt positive and happy, and it was a complete 180 from when I went into class. I was just a mess, and I came out completely different. And ever since then, I found that I have to keep up. I have to exercise so that I can help keep those endorphins going and help keep me positive. And if I can exercise outdoors through hiking, it's like 2-for-1 deal. So anyways, those are just some of the ways that I use to help cope. Like I said, I try to go as natural as possible. So by being able to be outside and use exercise for the endorphins so that I can use that to help with my depression is a big plus for me. There are other ways, or actually additional ways to help cope. There's making sure you're finding, well, not making sure, but finding comfort in your your faith. Different support groups. There's grief support groups that you could go to. There's several out there. Or if it is that bad, make sure you're talking to a therapist or a grief counselor, because obviously we don't want anything bad to happen to you. So make sure you find somebody to talk to if you really, really need to talk to somebody. And it's important to know that you don't have to go through it alone. There will be people out there to help you and to talk to you. So that is what I have for tonight in regards to coping with death. I know yesterday I asked if anybody else had any other topics they would like me to cover that I have not touched base on. That offer still stands. I didn't get anything yesterday. So if I don't hear anything from anybody, I will probably be moving on still kind of sticking into the same kind of category of death and loss of loved ones, but moving more into the afterlife, signs. I'll probably pull in some information from James Van Praagh, different stuff like that. So if anybody has questions, if anybody has anything that they want me to talk about, anything of the sorts, I am open to suggestions, and I look forward to talking and seeing with you all again. This is Beth with Unearth Your Glow, and I hope you all have a great night. See ya!